on live with the computer. There you go. No, it's okay. We're on live with you people.
We're live to each other.
There you go.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Coffin Podcast with Juan Blak. Coming at you on waxradioindie.com and on YouTube.
All right.
Speaking of what you said right before you came on, you were saying about being centrist. I was about to say that's a whole other situation, that I was saying like before, is that I had noticed with my channel. By the way, I'm Dusty Spins.
Yeah. I was about to do my intro. You're like, wait a minute. Like, here, real quick.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just like, I'm going to take over. Say this for your shit, motherfucker. No.
I'm all, you just got yourself into trouble. You just like grabbed the biggest fat mouth and freaking on YouTube. Okay, I'll go ahead and let you edit that out.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Morning Coffin Podcast, the morning show that records late at night. I'm your host, Juan Blak, and over here today is a longtime person I've known for a while. He has a YouTube channel known as Dusty Spins, where he spins things that are quite dusty. Mr. Dusty Spins.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
What's up? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I think this is going to be like the first podcast collab I've done. Usually I just pop up on other live streams, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, basically, if you're not familiar with his channel, he does lots of live streams. Lot of music related stuff, but everybody just kind of hangs out and just has conversations. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of this, but on a larger scale with more people.
Well, somewhat. I mean, sometimes if I'm really, really pumping it, I'll get maybe 30 people. Maybe I've gone as high as 40. If there's some kind of drama going on, maybe 50.
What's up, homie?
So meow meows, fur babies. I got my fur babies around here somewhere too.
You never hang out here, dude. What's up? You never hang out here.
He's like, that guy's voice. It's soothing. He's got a cat daddy voice.
You gonna be the co-host for the evening with your sister? Huh? Usually his sister hangs out here. Toast, she's like the regular here, but
yeah, with me I have one called Grayson. He's a Russian blue all the time. He's the one who always wants to be in the business. None of the rest of them. But usually he's the one who's like, hey, what's going on there, Daddy? What are you doing? Or he knows as soon as the headphones come on. As soon as the headphones come on and he sees the mic arm swing, he's like, oh, it's showtime.
My cats is that way too, which makes it hard to when I'm trying to record vocals or for anything, if I'm working on music, because the cats for some reason think I'm singing to them. So they're like, ooh, it's for me. You're singing to me.
No, it's Dad. No. Unplugged.
Hey, Dad. Sing to me. Pet me. Let me rub my face on the microphone while you're trying to do stuff. Hey.
No, like you were saying about my channel, though, it's basically I'm in the vinyl community. Or I try and say music community. I don't say so much vinyl community more because, like I was explaining earlier, vinyl community has gotten so much one way. It's just not into it anymore. But my channel is not the ordinary channel. So if anybody here is vinyl community hardcore people, don't think that you're going to go to my channel. We're just going to sit there and be like, oh, well, the Beach Boys Pet Sounds. There was 7 different pressings of that. And I think the best pressing was, no, you're not going to find that on my channel. You're not, So we talk music, we talk everything. But the thing is, mostly, we just let it go. Whatever we talk about, we talk about. We have T-shirts, too. Late Night Crew. There you go. That's why we call ourselves the Late Night Crew. Because,
hey.
Yeah.
I need to get me one of those.
There you go. That's why we call ourselves the Late Night Crew, though, because, you never know what the fuck we're going to talk about. Oh, we allowed cuss?
Once again, I ain't fucking monetized. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't making no money off of this. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's the main thing.
By the way, y'all want to help a brother out, there's a link down. Go scrolling across here. Send a little donation. Help a brother out.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the channel going.
There you go. Buy Juan some coffee. Juan needs some coffee. There you go.
Yeah, I'm already half a cup, man. I need a refill, bro.
There you go.
Cheers, mate.
I have a Keurig, so I end up using these pods, which...
Right? Me too.
Yeah.
I got spoiled with that shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, I was like, I'm not using those fucking things.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started using them, I'm only using these fucking things.
Yeah, but then
great.
they're freaking awesome. But though after a while, like when you've been buying them for a while, you end up going to Walmart or whatever. Excuse me. You go to Walmart, you buy them, you buy a box, and you're kind of like going, well, how many of these am I using a day? 2, 3. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, okay, it's kind of adding up. So what I did is I try to like stop using the pods, and I use the little adapter. It's gonna be some fascinating talk, people out there. Fascinating talk. I had to buy one of those little adapters where it had the little cone on the inside, and you put your regular ground coffee in there. It didn't taste as good to me, so I went back to pods. There you go.
Yeah, I want to get those for like tea.
Yeah,
because that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like I've been using coffee, and actually because I've been trying to cut back on coffee a bit because I already have high blood pressure. I'm kind of got it under control right now, and I'm not trying to like go too crazy. So I'm like trying to keep it like maybe a couple cups a day, and it's like actually the K cups kind of help with that because then I have more of an understanding of how much I'm drinking. As if I make a pot, then I'm just like pouring, I don't know, whatever,
Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, you don't even know how much you'll end up drinking. You're like, I don't know.
And don't care. It's like, fuck it. Let's go. Just pour it in my mouth. Fuck it.
No, but what I was going to say, actually, but being that I'm the VC about the centrist talk we were talking about before, I said, like, when I first really started out in the vinyl community, I tried to, like, kiss people's butts, I guess you can say. I tried to keep the politics and everything centrist so that I could retain my audience. And I realized after a while, it really wasn't freaking worth it. I was like, really not worth it. Because...
I can't do that. I'm too black for that shit. Like,
no. I'm too brown for that shit. To tell you the truth, I really am.
See, we are of the brown complexion that we can't.
Yes, exactly.
Can't be doing bullshit like that. Fuck that. No.
Because I mean, the thing is that, like, I mean, I try and be fair. Which in some cases, like I said, when it comes to my channel, I have very few rules. I'm like, you know what? I don't want you saying anything racist, nothing homophobic. I don't want you attacking people's families or children. And I said, as long as you don't break those 3, and I used to have a 4th one. I forgot the 4th one was. If it comes to me, I'll think about it. But those were my only 4 rules. As long as you didn't do that, you could be in there, be a Trumper, be MAGA, whatever the hell. Be in there. Fine. Just don't break any of those rules. That was my thing. But of course you end up having, some of those people that are, on the right, they turn around and they really want to push their agenda. They really want to be like, it's not like they can't just believe in it themselves. It's like they have to like make you believe it. Like it's like they don't feel satisfied until you agree with them.
It's a whole part of their personality, which is wild. It's wild to me how like some of these people treat politics as like the same way you treat sports, People are like hardcore like Raiders fan or hardcore like whatever, like Lakers or whatever. Then you have these people like hardcore like Trump fans. It's like I can't. It's like this motherfucker's not playing basketball, and I don't think he could. Nobody wants to see him in biker shorts. No one wants to see him in biker shorts either. But no one sees him in basketball shorts. No,
not in those cankles with those bone spurs. It's not going to happen.
I once had a one-on-one match with Kobe Bryant. He said it was the best. He told us. He came to me. He said, "Mr. Trump, tears in his eyes, big man, strong man, tears in his eyes. Oh, you're the best in basketball. Oh, teach me your ways."
No, it's supposed to be everyone tells him sir. They go to say, they said sir. They said sir. I can't do his voice. I mean, he kind of got the face. He told me sir, and I said okay. So
the hand movements.
Yeah.
Hey, Cookie Joe Biden.
Everything's bigly. I don't know if he's saying bigly or big league. I never freaking really. I mean, some people say he's saying big league. No, he's saying bigly. Well, bigly is in the freaking T, Bigelow, or what the fuck? I don't even know.
His favorite word's unprecedented. He says that a lot now. Oh, there's Toast. There's the main co-host right here. What's up, bro?
Cool. Meow. I think what he does is every so often, I think he pulls out a dictionary. He turns around, gets his finger, and he closes his eyes, and he goes, and that's going to be the word he's going to use for the week. That's what I think he basically does. Like right now, he's on the whole kick with everything he says. He says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Right. Or thank you for paying attention to this matter. Some stupid shit like that. But I think when it comes to politics, like with me, I was not really a political person, I know that I always had my family raised me Democrat. We were always Democrats, which I mean I don't even believe in a two-party system anymore like I used to. So, but I was basically raised in a Democratic family. But I think I really didn't pay attention to politics probably until the quarantine, when I really saw what the hell was going on. You know, when you're sitting there and you're getting fed that shit 24/7, you know, and it actually came to the point where I was seeing these people in Washington making decisions that were starting to affect me, you know, right away. Then I started going, oh, I'm paying attention here, like what's going on. And I followed it like sports, like you said. You know, I was following it like sports, like, because there was no sports. I couldn't watch baseball or anything, you know, so when that jackass, as I call him, started doing things and, you know, COVID's crawling across my yard now and all this stuff is happening, you know, I really woke up and was like, I really had to pay attention.
Yeah, that's what it's like for the longest time. You're like, I don't do politics, everything. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, one day you actually pay attention and you realize, oh shit, my existence is made political and I didn't even fucking know that. What am I?
Exactly.
It's like you start thinking about it, it's like, oh shit. You know?
You know, my whole thing was that the attitude that I had always had is like, I didn't really give a shit who was in the White House. You know, my attitude had always been, why should I give a shit who's in the White House? Why should I give a shit who's in the Senate? Why should I give a shit who's in the House of Representatives? They're going to make decisions. They're going to be beyond my pay level. You know, I just got to go ahead and go to work, pay my bills, and take care of my own little piece of America. And as long as I do that, I should be fine. And I started realizing, no, that's not the way it's working. These guys are making decisions, stuff like that, or dipping into my money, dipping into my, you know, financial future, my retirement, my whatever, you know.
Taking your rights away and just like
that too. Yes, most definitely.
And expect you to be happy about it.
Yeah. Well, they shit on your head and expect you to wear the hat and smile and say, thank you. You know, thank you so much. You know? So, you know, it's good to like people come in here and like talk freely like this because to be perfectly honest, on my channel, it's like we talk about all kinds of like sexual stuff, all kinds of stuff like that. We talk about, but when it comes to politics, usually I refrain, you know, somewhat because like I said, usually I'm doing a live stream. So I have a lot of people that like, they start attacking in the chat, you know, and
I've seen it, and I've seen people do that in chats that had nothing to do with politics. They just automatically just start popping in. It's like, what the fuck? What is this energy? It's like, dude, this is about a guy doing a let's play for Resident Evil. Why are we doing this?
Exactly. Like on my panel, you know, my panel's pretty diverse, you know. We have me. We have Tim. Tim's an older gentleman. He's really into his music. That is his main thing, is his music. Sometimes I feel like when he comes to our channel, it's like I really think he enjoys being with us on that channel. But he goes to all these other channels during the day, which are very music-centric. Lots of older gentlemen who are like, they know everything about music. So I kind of feel like when he comes to our channel, he's kind of slumming it, but I think he likes it there. You know, he's like slumming it. But he doesn't like talking politics. So if we start talking politics, I can kind of like catch his facial expressions like, oh, he's feeling uncomfortable. And he's been with me since like the first day I ever like started streaming, with like 3-4 years ago. So I do kind of like cater to him and be like, okay, well, maybe it's getting out of hand. I try and like pull back some, you know. And then we have Paulina Angel. She's trans. Cool. Yeah, she's trans.
Yeah, I know.
So Yeah, she's great. She's magnificent. But the thing about her is she will go off. She will get into motherfucker's ass. You know what I'm saying? She will.
I noticed she don't fuck around. I like that.
Yeah, she will not.
It's like I was like, you know what? I like you more. I see you. I see you.
Yeah, she will not. So if somebody says something that she does not like, she will call them on it, and she'll debate it with them right there. You know, she won't let it go. She'll be like, "Oh, okay, hold on, guys, hold on." It's like The View. She's like my Whoopi. So you know, she'll be like, "No, hold on a minute, hold on. No, we're gonna talk. We're gonna, you know, this shit needs to be discussed." You know. And then you have Lisa. It's like she rarely gets angry. Groovy Lisa, rarely. Yeah, she's one of those. She kind of goes with the flow. You know, she kind of goes with the flow. Once in a while, maybe something will come across her head where she's like, "Nah." We call her Roseanne Barr because she sounds like Roseanne Barr. You know, so she's like,
Lisa like that.
No, I know, poor Lisa. So, and just recently, like I said, we've had Tanya Z up there. Tanya Z, hardcore leftist. She's hardcore left, and a lot of people say that she's. A lot of people try to say that she's. I'm going to sound completely ignorant here. What is the opposite of misogynistic when you're like almost anti-male?
Misandry, I believe.
Yeah, a misanthrope. Misanthrope, is it? Misanthropy?
No.
Is that no?
Misandry is just you hate the whole human race.
Okay, maybe she's that too. Maybe she's that too. So,
I mean, if it's misandry or be it that or whatever, it's like let's be real. It's kind of valid. It's like anybody nowadays to have a better understanding than anybody who's like pretty much like for the most part just like hates men. It's like, you know what? I've met a lot of men. I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
As a man, sometimes I hate a lot of men. So you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I ain't even mad at you.
Well, I mean, just like in the vinyl community, going back to that, it's kind of like, it's very misogynistic when it comes to women. Women come into the vinyl community, and right away the guys want to judge them on their looks or whatever else it is. I mean, if a girl comes to the vinyl community and she's pretty, she could be like 5,000 subs by the end of the week. But if she's ugly, then she's getting all kinds of hate talk and all kinds of people telling her stuff. I mean, I don't think there's any such thing as somebody being ugly, but if she's not,
not like not that like that cliche pretty that certain people go for, that the cliche expected the society beauty standard, conventional
beauty, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, that's
conventional beauty.
Right. But unfortunately that's like that, not just like a lot of different communities. Like fucking, you ever see a comment section on the male community? Like you see like a video to like talk about like I don't know how much metal you listen to.
Quite a bit.
What's that one band? Crypta. There's these four girls from Brazil.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think I've heard of them. No. Okay.
They are fucking beasts. Number one. I'm just gonna I don't know why I'm stumbling on the name right now. It's like cryptid, something, not Crips and Bloods, no. But they're a fucking beast. It's like, I fucking love it. I love them. You go to the comment section, people will talk mad shit about them, and it's mostly because they're four women playing music and playing metal. It's like they sound better than the fucking that Pantera shit. I'm sorry, Pantera sucks. I'll say it. I'm gonna piss somebody off. I don't care. Pantera sucks.
I've never liked. Same thing here. I've never freaking liked Pantera. I've never liked Phil. I've always thought that Phil Anselmo was a jackass.
Well,
always have.
And then when you see further proof that these guys were fucking white supremacists. So
yes,
it's even worse. And then people ignore that. People fucking. There's videos of Dimebag Darrell just randomly going off on that N-word like it was nothing. I'm like,
hard R, big time.
Not even a stutter. He wasn't even trying to do the A.
Yeah. No. And then Phil Anselmo, they actually have footage of him doing a Zig Heil, and he turned around and he did like an apology video afterwards. That's not what I meant. I was like, okay, Elon, that's not what you meant. Yeah. Right. He's like, that's not what I was. Well, his stupid ass voice. That's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say, well, no, bullshit. That's what you were going to say. Yeah. I remember one time I think, I'm sorry. Go ahead. One.
No, I was going to say, you look around, there's a video. He was going on and on this fucking long spiel speech at a show. And it was most of it because of being criticized. He basically saying he should be able to say whatever he wants, including the N-word and blah, blah, blah.
No.
It was fucking ridiculous. And it's like, oh, you one of those. So, and people still fuck with them.
Yeah, they do. They really, really do. I mean, I never forgave him for it. And I remember one time during the 90s, even before that happened, when Pantera was still at their height, I think like I had a group of friends who went and they had an extra ticket and they took me with them. And I remember going to see Pantera, which I really never was into Pantera, but I went anyways for the hell of it because it was beer. So I ended up going, and I mean, every other word, the only thing this guy did was when he would like between songs be like, I want to thank you motherfuckers for standing behind us when no other motherfuckers would. You motherfuckers are the best. You were my motherfuckers. Listen, motherfuckers. And like every other word was motherfucker. It was like that was the extent of his fucking vocabulary. And I just say fucking, but I was that was the extent.
I can't talk shit about that part because in the early days of when I was playing with my Elegant Bastards, like every other line, everything I said in between, there was the motherfucker was said a lot. I was like trying to compete with Samuel L. Jackson, I think, for a while. So that's the one thing I can't talk shit about Phil about. Everything else, it's a buffet.
Everything else is fine.
Yeah. This episode brought to you by Dead Souls Gothic Lounge. Dead Souls Gothic Lounge is Indianapolis, Indiana's premier goth night, monthly appealing. Dead Souls is an all-inclusive, all-ages night in a safe environment where you can have fun and dance the night away to your favorite dark alternative music. For event updates, visit Dead Souls Gothic Lounge on Facebook and Instagram.
Which is so funny because the other day, and I think I put it on my Facebook too. I'm going totally in another direction. I was watching Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Don't ask me why. Worst movie in the Star Wars fucking universe. But it was the scene with Samuel L. Jackson where he tried to be so serious in that role. He tried to be so serious in the Mace Windu role. He's like, do you feel that this child can bring balance to the Force? And the only thing I'm hearing in my head when he's saying this stuff is like, I'm hearing, do you believe that this child could bring balance to the Force, motherfucker? That's the only thing I'm hearing. Everything he's saying, I'm like capping it off with motherfucker. That's the punctuation. It's like
I'm still mad that they gave the black man a purple lightsaber. I'm like, y'all.
Yeah, that gave him a little bit of flavor.
I think, but you did not.
But wait a second. But I know.
George, what the fuck?
But George also his lightsaber, they engraved on it and said "bad motherfucker" on it. It was engraved on there. Yeah, so he still has it. And he said it's very unusual because they never let them take any of their stuff home. George always keeps everything in a climate controlled vault, blah 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 blah. He keeps all the shit, everything, the models, everything. And he said no. He went ahead. Samuel L. Jackson said, I'm one of the only motherfuckers who got to keep their lightsaber because my lightsaber said "bad motherfucker" on it. So
you know what? I guess can't be mad at that. I mean,
that's yeah. Because he said that usually what they do is when you get chosen, to be in a Star Wars film, it's like they say they have a guy who'll come up to you, like he'll have like a couple of road cases and you get to choose your lightsaber, what style you want, because they make so many different ones, and then as soon as you choose it, then they like have to scan it, all this stuff, because that's going to be the thing they're going to use for action figures and for the toys and this and that. So it's like, so he chose the one that he did. And then they took it. When they took it, I don't know if it was one of the prop guys who thought it would be funny, or something, but he had it engraved with "bad motherfucker."
Like, it makes me wonder, is it the toy version that also has "bad motherfucker" on it? I'm sad it doesn't.
I know. If you're going to make a 1-to-1 replica and George Lucas is going to sell it like he does for like $500 for one, if I buy a Mace Windu one for $500, I want to say "bad motherfucker" on it.
Yeah, well, just you're gonna spend that much on it. You're like, hey, be authentic.
There you go. Definitely. Yeah, it was funny because I had put that on, like I said, I put that on my Facebook and stuff, and all kinds of people were like, "Oh, is that all you think of Samuel L. Jackson?" And I was like, "No," I said, "I just thought it was like it was entertaining to me, I guess." It's like I thought it was entertaining. But
he's made a career from it. Fuck it,
Yeah, that's what he's known for.
I mean,
he's known for it.
Well, I mean, he didn't really do that in Avengers. I don't think.
No.
To be fair, I haven't watched all the Avengers.
Me neither.
So
The Marvel Cinematic
like it's the motherfucking Hulk. I don't, out of there could be a scene like that. I don't know, because I the last actual Avengers movie I've watched all the way through was Age of Ultron. I have not kept up to most of these Marvel movies since, and it's like it's not that I don't want to, but it's just like it's a lot.
It is. The universe is so fucking vast. It's like, how can you keep up with everything? Like if you ever had a conversation with Paulina and you bring up the Marvel, I mean, also she's Asperger's. So I understand she kind of like has that, she kind of has like the Rain Man syndrome when it comes to Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's her thing. So I mean, she could tell you anything. She knows every single minute detail, which is fascinating. I find it fascinating. But she'll go off on a tangent and start talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'll just be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm like, okay. Like every so often she'll start talking about like that there's different parallel universes, like there's different alternate universes, and each one has a number. Like there's alternate universe number 238 and number 132 and blah blah blah. And she'll be like, and in this universe this happened, and she could tell you everything that happened in that timeline. And I'll just be like, really? Out of like thousands of universes, what happened in that one timeline? That's freaking crazy. I'm like,
Yeah, but both Marvel and DC do that too, which I can get confusing on one hand, but on the other hand, it's kind of smart, because like growing up reading the comics, I still remember like I used to like read Justice League America when I was a kid. That's when they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing, which was their version of the variant things. And that was pretty cool. And I remember when they saw the evil version of the Justice League with had Ultraman instead of Superman and everything. I was like, oh, these guys are cool. And I'm glad they're like the animated movies have been kind of brought them back. Fine. I'm like, oh, good. It's like, because I need to know more about these guys.
But they kind of give themselves an out though too by doing that, because it's kind of like, well, if the universe ends up getting boring, we can always go ahead and reboot it. And say it was just one of the alternate universes, and we can resell it to them again.
To be honest, when you have a comic book character that's been in production for like over 50 to 70 years, to be honest, it's probably a good idea to do something like that, so that way you can keep it fresh. Because otherwise, it's going to get boring if you keep having like an Adam West like Batman for 50 years after that, and it's gonna get boring,
Although I revisited the original Batman not too long ago. We're doing this thing on my channel. Well, not on my channel, but the people that I do my channel with, like Tim and Paulina and them. We got on this kick for a while where instead of doing streams, because it got kind of hot there with the drama and stuff for a while there, so we're like, but we all wanted to hang out and talk to each other, so we started doing private streams. We do private streams, and I have all the equipment to hook up where I can play movies and stuff like that with good sound and everything. And we would hang out and watch like Partridge Family, Batman, all these different movies, shows and stuff like that. And we were watching the Batman shows, and I would turn around, I'd hit my weed pen, I would get stoned, sit here, I'd have my freaking Cheez-Its, and and I was freaking cracking up. I was enjoying the old Batman. I was like, it was so freaking cheesy. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, but it's classic.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned it, because I have I was gonna make this post on Facebook, because I had like an old post I made a while back ago. It was a picture. It was a clip, like a photo from the show. It was like the Penguin, the Riddler, Catwoman, and the Joker. They were about to do some shit, but they were all wearing these little masks, and I'm like, what was the point of wearing those masks? Everybody else who the fuck you are.
Everybody saw your faces. It's like, we already know. We know what you look like. One little mask,
It's like,
what do you guys?
You got the Joker dressed, like the Joker with his little mask on. And if you took some mask off, like, I didn't know that was a Joker all that time.
That cracks me up. It's true. Be like one little thin thing, and be like, oh, take it off. No, it's you.
And you know what? Something just dawned on me. Catwoman already has a mask, right?
Yeah.
But then for some reason, she was wearing a different mask. And it was like, you already own a mask. What the fuck?
Exactly. It's like she ends up taking off the whole headpiece and she has another mask on or some shit. It was just really, what the hell? You know?
But it's 60s. What do you want?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm sure some LSD and some marijuana was involved at some point. Because it was
most definitely. Somebody was smoking something. Somebody was dropping something, but something was going on there. Just like with the Partridge Family. It's like, you know, I find it remarkable what passed for entertainment during the 70s, early 70s, late 60s. It's just like, it makes no sense to me. Like the Partridge Family is like, I mean, I'm a closet Partridge Family fan. Reason being is because Tim started the whole thing, Tim Allen from my live stream, because what he used to do is when we would get into hardcore subjects, like say we were talking about something and it got too heated, he would pull out a record and he would say, oh, hey, look, a record. And that was his way of saying like, you know, oh, let's like get off that subject because it's too hot and everybody's getting angry type thing. You know what I mean? Which was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Good cool segue. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, you know, he kept on doing it with a Partridge Family record. He would pull out a Partridge Family record and be like, oh, look, a record. And it'd be like Partridge Family, like 45, 7-inch single, whatever, you know. So after a while, what happened was all of us got into doing it. So all of us went out to the thrift stores and bought Partridge Family records. So every time he would do this, you know, he would pull out a Partridge Family record. All of us would pull out a Partridge Family record and be like, you know, so all of us would show our Partridge Family records, you know, it became a thing. So like, yeah. So of course, after a while of doing that, you know, finally one day I said, well, I have these Partridge Family records I bought for that. I'm all, maybe I should throw them on the turntable and listen to them, you know? And I was like, oh, and I became a fan. God curse my soul. I was like, damn.
You're running through the house going, come on, get happy.
Yeah, come on, get happy.
Dancing around like Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I mean, there's this one woman who has a channel, and I watch her religiously. Like I said, I'm cursed. I'm going to hell. She has a Partridge Family channel. Her whole channel is about collecting and, you know, and her love of the Partridge Family. It's a really wholesome channel and stuff. And like, Tim just loves her channel to death. I mean, I love her channel too. You know, right. She'd be like, but she's like really like one of those collectors. She's like, oh yeah, this Partridge Family record came out in 4 different variants in Japan, 2 in Thailand, and 1 in blah, blah, blah. And she has like collected them all. You know, it's like one of those type things, you know?
Right.
Crazy.
That kind of reminds me like there's this other channel that I follow on here. There's this other girl, her and her partner have like they have this called TJ Productions, and they basically it's something like that except it's Chuck E. Cheese related.
Really? That sounds interesting.
Apparently, I guess it's a big thing where there's like a bunch of I think I should call them Chuck heads. Like everybody.
Really?
It's like a big thing. There's like a convention for like like I think one of the characters, and I'm like, I didn't realize that was crazy. It's like everybody's all about. It's like she did like there were like these videos where like there's a Chuck because she's out here in Indianapolis, and there's a Chuck E. Cheese like not too far from me. It got closed down, so she kind of like waited out, and she was like she was dumpster diving and like grabbing some of the stuff that they were tossing out. But there were other people there doing the same thing too. It just like
it's crazy.
Like, oh, it's wild.
But well, that goes to show you there's a South for every butt.
Yeah, and a lot of her content is, you know, Chuck E. stuff. It's really cool. She seems really cool. I was wanting to kind of like at some point get her, maybe if I can try to get her on here.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Because she seems really cool, and it's like somebody like I'd like to like collab with and talk to or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds kind of fascinating. I mean, I'd like to hear what her whole opinion was if she saw the whole Shane Dawson series where he was attacking Chuck E. Cheese and saying that.
Oh yeah, but say they were like recycling pizza.
Yeah.
Which from what I saw, that kind of does look like they recycled pizza, but I've never actually ate at Chuck E. Cheese, so I can't say that for sure. And apparently, other people rave about their pizza. That maybe it was just the one he was going to.
It could have been, but they were trying to like, you know, Well, the thing is, it became like a challenge on TikTok. People were going all over the country doing it. And they were everyone was finding pizzas that were miscut. But the thing is, like, they were trying to somehow say there was something to do with physics, the way that it actually ends up ending up that way. And they were trying to make sense of it. And I think a couple people did prove, blah, blah, blah. But still, there was a lot of freaking room for error, you know? Yeah. But yeah, it was just really unusual. It's like, so I'd be really freaking interested in hearing what she has to say about that. Like, you know,
and
what about Shane Dawson's pizza?
There's a lot of people that, like, unfortunately have you have, like, sometimes, like, for instance, I get pizza from, like, Little Caesars sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know, I get it like a little cheat, you know, because, you know, I'm trying not to eat so much like stuff like that now, but once in a while, and like sometimes they'll have people there. They'll cut the pizza, but it's cut all fuck wacky.
Yes.
Like, there's one time it was cut. The pieces were like all miscut, whatever. To the point where I had this one little slice that was like wow, like one little triangle. There was a real somebody did something like that, and then I was like, oh my god, this happened for real. This is happening.
It happens. It's happened to me before. Like ordering Domino's is really. I'm a fat kid, so I know about the pizza place, but Domino's is really freaking criminal when it comes to that. I mean, I've bought pizzas from there where I'll turn around and get a piece and I'll get a sliver, and then my son like takes a quarter of the pizza in one slice. I'm like, what the hell? They cut his slice. It was like almost a quarter of the pizza, and mine's a sliver. What the hell? I'm like, no, you're cutting that shit. Cut it.
There's a pizza place up the street from me. They're like a New York style pizza place. I go there sometimes. These motherfuckers, their slices are perfect.
Really?
This is the place. If you want pizza that's cut perfect, that's the place to go to. Perfect, nice New York slice, perfect shape, it's beautiful.
Maybe they have a pizza cutting machine.
Yeah, I seen him. It's the one dude with the fucking pizza cutter. Slatow. That's the
He's
pizza
a samurai. He's a samurai.
Pizza samurai.
He has a special samurai sword that nobody knows about.
Oh yeah, God! If they had a pizza place that had that, I would go there regular just for that. I was like, I want to dude fucking slice that with the sword, man. The pizza sword.
Well, like the Jim Belushi character from SNL, from Saturday Night Live. Remember the samurai? I forgot what it was he was cutting up though. What was it he used to cut up? Or they just had him cutting up all kinds of different shit.
He was doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Looking back on that, you go, ooh, that was fucking racist.
Oh, when they did the SNL 50.
When we were kids, we laughed our asses off. But you see it now, it's like, ooh.
Well, when they did SNL 50, they did it in memoriam. You know, it said in memoriam. And Tom Hanks was introducing it. And I was like, oh, I thought, okay, it's going to be a somber moment. They're probably going to talk about, you know, the people of past that were, you know, on SNL. And he goes, in memoriam, these are of skits that should not have been, you know, ever made. And, you know, and you're all going to hell for having laughed at them because you know you did. And it's like they had like racial stereotypes. Also, they were showing all the skits that just did not age good. You know, and stuff like that. They were saying in memoriam. Yeah. And that was one of them. But there was some really horrible ones where they were doing like blackface and they blurred it out. You know, like you know, we're trying to laugh at this. That this is like, yeah, like they're like saying we're trying to laugh at this. That this was wrong, and we realize it, but we're still not going to show this shit. You know, so they were like blurring it out.
There was speaking of that, which the clips of this was probably in that too. I forgot the guy's name. He was on Saturday Night Live, and he was popular for a minute, and then he just disappeared. Fuck, Joe something.
Joe Piscopo?
Joe Piscopo, thank you.
Piscopo.
Joe Piscopo, that's the guy. Do you remember when he used to do the Bruce Lee thing?
No, but you know what? Now that you told me that, I'm going to look it up because I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Because once that shit's on the internet, it's there forever.
Even back then, it was like... And it's not like when he did Bruce Lee, it's not like he was trying to do talk like Bruce Lee. Because you grew like me. You grew up watching Bruce Lee. You know.
Yeah.
No. He was doing that really racist Hong Kong Phooey type fucking like the trying to like talk like how like white people used to act like talking like Asians did back in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
thing.
So he did like the extreme, like Mickey Rooney and Breakfast at Tiffany's thing.
Yeah.
Big teeth, the whole thing. Oh, goodness.
I'm like, how? Oh, okay. I was like, even back then, I'm like, okay, now how are you going to be like trying to imitating Bruce Lee, you know, doing like your parody of Bruce Lee, whatever, right down to like the stance and everything. I was like, okay, well, like I'll give him that, but then you're going to do that. It's like,
well, Bruce Lee did not look like that, though. It's like Bruce Lee is like, he did not look like, you know, a hardcore or the stereotype that they were making of the Chinese man. I mean, he had bad hair, but we all have bad hair. It's like, I mean, he had bad hair, but we all have bad hair days, but, you know.
I mean, from the 60s and 70s, everybody had, they had some hair back then. They had some hairstyles back then. Now, come on.
But, I mean, even when Joe Piscopo did, like, Frank Sinatra, that made me cringe, too. You know, when he did the Stevie Wonder and, Frank Sinatra thing where they're doing, you know, they're supposed to be doing Ebony and Ivory, you know. He's like, I like that song. The song you do with the Beatles, kid. You know, the one that looks like a chick. He's talking about Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
And he's all, you know, and then they do this whole rendition of Ebony and Ivory, and he's just like making all these black jokes. And it's just like, you know, and it's like, ooh, you know, you're just kind of like, oh, yeah, it's so bad. That did not age well. That aged like milk.
Yeah, you know? back then, racism and homophobia and everything, that was just like family fun, which is kind of gross if you think about it now. Like,
it is gross. I mean, the thing that my mother was always trying to read, and it's like I always like argued with her about it because my father was like, no, it's not right. You know, he was like, because he was like, you know, Mr. Hippie, whatever, you know. And, you know, because my mom would be like, oh, well, like if somebody's making jokes about Mexicans, it's okay for us to laugh because we're Mexican. And my dad would be like, no, it's not okay for us to laugh just because we're Mexican. It's not right. Right is not right. It's not right. Yeah, right. You know, because obviously if they're, you know, making jokes about Mexicans, they're making jokes about other races. And we don't laugh about other races, do we, son? And I was like, no, Dad. He's also, you know, so, yeah. But yeah, like, they age badly. And like if you ever get a chance, go ahead and go on YouTube and see the In Memoriam SNL 50, and you're gonna be like, wow, you know, some of those characters they did.
I'll watch it. I'll remember this, and then I'll go at the end of this. I'll probably think about like 5 different ones that they missed. I'm like,
yeah,
where was this one?
Well, what about time they did like the portrayal of Italians, you know, being womanizers, and they're like showing them as like, you know, sexually assaulting women and stuff. I mean, I was just like, what the hell? They're like licking them and everything, you know? And it's just like, wow, you know, you're just like, that's horrible. That would not fly today. And this is like 1990 something.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like
they were doing stuff like that up until like what, about 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah. It's just like, ooh.
They haven't started trying to change things to be a little bit like less cringy until fairly recent.
Yes. And then people try to say, "Oh, that's just being woke. That's just being woke." I'm all, woke is a good thing because some of that stuff was horrible. It was horrible. You know.
Today's episode brought to you by
That's another. Every time I hear somebody use that in that context, it just makes my fucking ass chafe. You know,
yeah.
I was like, it's a bunch of woke stuff. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Go back to sleep then, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why? It's like they say woke like it's a bad thing. Why is what being asleep is a better thing? I just don't get it. It's like, so being woke is bad, being asleep is good. So like not paying attention to what's going on in the world. And
I see what I guess to see what they're inadvertently trying to say is like being asleep means you can ignore things and you don't have to pay attention to it, and you can just it leads to ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
you know, a blissful ignorance. That's basically in the end what they're looking for.
True. Yeah. Basically, yeah. That's what they're looking for. They're trying, you know, like when they say, you know, the whole "Make America Great Again." It's like, what era in our history are you talking about great again? What era in our history do you want to go back to? You know?
I mean, when was it great for everybody? Because it sure was never.
Yeah, it's still not. It's still not. You know, I mean, you can go back 10 years and it still wasn't great. You know, it's like it's always been bad. You know, it's like,
what
do you want to go back to?
Go back to the 1950s. Oh, when it was like perfectly fine for like segregation. Beating your wife was totally fine.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, that was like added as comedy in movies. Like, I'm gonna hit you, and people would laugh, and it's like, so you want to go back to that, right?
I was gonna say, like, you know, if you look at something like really vintage television, which is another thing we talk about on my channel. We talk about a lot of television stuff like that. You go with vintage television like Jackie Gleason and the Honeymooners. You know, his tagline was "Right to the moon, Alice." You know, I'm gonna hit sock you and knock you right to the moon. You know, that was a pretty, you know, and I mean, and if you end up mentioning that, people are like, "Oh, you're too sensitive. You're being fucking woke. Stop." Blah, 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 blah. It's not funny. You know, it's like, okay, if you say your sister or your mother or your aunt was getting beat by her husband and you saw that line on a TV show, would you still laugh about it? Would it still be funny? It's not funny. You know, it's like, you know, at the time, okay, maybe, I don't know where America was at that time. And I don't know if that's where they want to go back, but no.
I even at a young age, because I used to watch that show because, like, you know, you're watching reruns as you're growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
First couple times, like, okay, kind of funny. And then even as a kid, you start thinking about it. It's like, wait a minute. Hold up. Whoa. Hold up. Wait. Oh, so he's talking about beating his wife, but that's not good though, right?
Yeah. You're kind of like,
so why is that funny if that's not supposed to be a thing? You know, it kind of makes my fucking 8-year-old brain going, what?
Yeah, it's like I mean, it's beyond our comprehension probably at that age, but still, it's like I think as you get older, you're kind of like, ooh, you know, type thing. You know, it's like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, like recently, like rewatching a lot of like old 70s television because I really like 70s television. It's like, you know, if you look at some of the old Norman Lear television shows, like, you know, like All in the Family, The Jeffersons, stuff like that. You know, it's like they were really, really racial. You know, really racial.
But the thing was though, because like people try to keep using like All in the Family as an example of like, oh yeah, this was good TV, and they misunderstood it because actually, even like I guess Carol O'Connor even commented was like, the whole premise of the show wasn't celebrating Archie Bunker as for his beliefs or whatever thing. It was basically kind of like mocking him. You know?
Yeah, he was being a clown. It was he was playing up the character for you to look at him and be like, "What a jackass!"
Exactly.
You know, that's what he was doing. Yeah. And
people took that, and it's like people who are fans of Rick and Morty, and they look at Rick as like, "Oh, that's the role model, that's the good guy." And it's like, no, Rick is kind of an asshole. You know, it's like that's you're taking the wrong thing away from the show. You know,
like there's this like there was one show that was out during the early 2000s called The Boondocks.
I love
the Boondocks. I love the Boondocks. But Uncle Ruckus, there was one episode which you will not. They try to like, it's basically like been erased. I think even off of Wikipedia, it's erased. The one where he was so into this country singer called Johnny Rebel or Jimmy Rebel or something of that sort.
Oh God!
And it was a horrible episode. I have it downloaded because I had the torrent. I mean, hard R all throughout the whole episode. And we already know how Ruckus feels about his own people, but they're singing songs, and there's this one part where I was just like, ooh, where he's talking off, he's supposed to be reading off all of the titles of his albums, and he's like, you remember me? My name is Jim Rebel. I made the album. I'm not going to say any of the titles, but I made the album, blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there going, ooh. I'm just like, ooh,
And actually, the funny thing is, that guy exists. Johnny Rebel?
Well, yeah, it was, what was his real name? Not, why do I always get it mixed up with Ellen Coe? Or is that the one? I know who you're speaking of, though. Yeah, that's a real guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny how I got introduced to the fact that he was actually, because I always thought that was like a joke or something.
Yeah.
Like, that guy doesn't exist. I got introduced. There was a place out with me and my spouse were living at the time,
mm-hmm.
and there was this one Japanese dude that was living there, right?
Uh-huh.
I forgot his name, but he had he played in like a Sunset Strip type band, and he listened to different stuff, and then all of a sudden his iPod, this song popped up, and it's like this Japanese dude just jamming out this guy singing about like he's just life's hard because he's just an N-word hating man. I was like, what the fuck are you listening to, dude?
Vicious.
I'm like, he like listens. I was like, he's listening to some weird rockabilly 50 shit. Okay, whatever. And I'm like going by my business. And then I heard that. I'm like, I dropped what I was doing. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, what makes you think it's okay to play that shit in public?
First of all, you're not white, so I don't know why you're even playing this shit. Number two, what the fuck?
Exactly. I'm just like, yeah. I mean, oh my god! But the songs that they made up for the episode, new songs. It's just like, it was horrible. It was horrible. But I mean, I like the character of Uncle Ruckus. Because my mother had this thing when I was younger. She always said that I hated being Mexican, so she would call me an Oreo. And I mean, she always instilled in me, she'd be like, you do not need to be self-hating, da-da-da, whatever. You're not a freaking Oreo or whatever the hell it is. She's like, and I was like, Oreo. She's like, yeah, you're brown on the outside, white on the inside, da-da-da, whatever. And she instilled that in me big time. You don't hate who you are. You better not ever hate who you are, da-da-da-da-da-da. So,
she's got a point, though. I mean, maybe a little rough, but I get it.
Yeah, but that's what Uncle Ruckus was. He hated what he was.
Yeah,
and they exist. People exist like that. So I mean, I can see where it's totally justified to have his character, but sometimes I'm kind of like, why did they have to have his character on that show? Because sometimes it was kind of like
his character was literally, basically fodder to make fun of the ridiculousness and just pointing out like certain people that are kind of like that. That's just a more of extreme version, But nobody. But the fucked up part. No, well, I take that back. I was say nobody was trying to be like make Uncle Ruckus a hero. But then again, we got a lot of people who are pretty much, they might as well be. Especially a few people that's been catering to this administration. Yeah, it's like.
Well, I mean, like you have, I mean, like I find it completely hilarious. Well, no, I don't find it hilarious. It's actually very disparaging, very depressing, actually. But fuck around and find out. These Latin people who are like, no, he's only going to deport the bad ones. Only going to deport I'm fine. I'm going to, well, are your papers all in order? Well, my papers are all in order, but he's not looking for people like me. He's looking for the other ones, the bad ones. And then they got deported. Yeah. So it's like, fuck around. So you voted for him? Yes, because he was going to get rid of the bad ones. You didn't think he was going to come for you? It's like, that was like I had, I have a friend of mine who's he came over. He's a dreamer. He was DACA and stuff like that, and there's a lot of his people in his family who aren't legal, and he is a Trumper, and he voted for Trump. And I was just like, how could you vote against your own interests? How could you vote against your own interests? Like the same thing with that channel I was telling you about, the VC channel that was all drama centric. Yeah. She's a transgender woman. She's transitioned fully. She's had her bottom surgery and everything. She's a transgender woman, but she's a total Trumper too. And I was like trying to explain, I would have these arguments with her that Trump doesn't like you. Why are you backing him up? He does not like you. He doesn't want you here either. And she'd be like, no, well, Trump. And then also on top of that, she's Canadian. What? I'm like, you're transgender and Canadian and you're a Trumper. Why do you even give a shit about our politics, for one? Two, you're transgender. So why would you even back him up? So it was like, made no sense. I just really felt like she did it just for the controversy, just for the country, because people would like argue with her about it and she would get the attention, she'd get the views. That's what I think it was all about. Like a Wally George type fucking thing or something. I don't know.
Oh, God. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, Wally George. I remember telling my daughter, because I live over here on the border of Tustin and Santa Ana. Dox me. Come visit me, people. No, just kidding. So when you pull out of my complex, on the very next street, you see the KDOC building, the big KDOC building, which is where Wally George's studio was at. And I was like, I remember one time telling my daughter, I was like, that used to be the studio that Wally George was at. Wally George was, I was showing her, I was like, he was a real fucking asshole. His own daughter didn't talk to him until he died, and the last word she had to him, he was in the coffin already, It's like, he was horrible. And
he seemed like an interesting fellow, and it's like, it is wild. Like he had like a lot of bands would just go on his show just because, just because. Because I remember
start shit, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Rebel, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Remember they were on there.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason why he used to get a lot of the bands, though, right, Juan? Because the reason why is because KDOC had that show Request Video, and before that they had another video show, I think it was. So they used to get the bands in there all the time for interviews. So when they would get the bands in there for interviews and stuff like that for the music video show, those bands would go over there to fuck with Wally George because he was like downstairs. So yeah, that Request Video they had in that one little building. I mean, it's like if you think about the history in there, they had like everyone was in there. 9 Inch Nails hung out in there. Gene Loves Jezebel, Social Distortion did live shows there. Peter Murphy did live shows there. They had everybody there. It's kind of like really in the history of rock. It should be like a historic building. All the people they've had in there, performing and stuff. But so a band would go in there for an interview and they'd be like, oh, walking out, and they'd probably be like, oh, there's Wally George too. Let's go fuck with him. So I'd be like, let's kill two birds with one stone. So.
And I'm sure Wally didn't mind because hey, he got extra show content.
Right, and he didn't have to pay for it,
Exactly. Hey, that's a good deal if you think about it.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, how much of that shtick was for real and how much was that just for the show? Kind of like, what's his face? The other guy who's pretty much a wannabe Wally George. Oh, God. Robert Downey Jr. or Morton
rest
Downey.
In peace.
Morton
Downey. Rest in peace, no. And people are like, no, I hope not. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
He used to smoke like a chimney, and he's like, he had these big, ugly teeth. None of my teeth are that great. Getting my teeth worked on, but.
And he had like that big little chingadera on his face or whatever, the little thing like that.
Yes.
He had like the Lemmy thing, but not
yes. And he would sit there and he would like chain smoke. And then if somebody went against him, he'd be like, "Get the well." That's where it originally probably came from. Get the fuck off my stage. Yeah. Get the fuck off my stage. Because Wally George would do the same thing.
What was a bunch of pablum puking liberals? I'm like,
yeah.
That show was like the fucking groundwork for Jerry Springer.
Oh, it definitely was. It's crazy as that. I don't think they really have any television like that nowadays. It's like I think the closest they get to is probably The View, but that's a liberal. No, The View is like a balance of liberals and conservatives, I guess.
No, there's a Steve Wilkos show.
Yeah, Steve Wilco. Yeah, he kind of does the same thing.
I mean,
But
it's not extreme like those, obviously, but.
But in a lot of situations, though, I do end up agreeing with Steve Wilco. Like sometimes, like he'll end up blaming some of the dads who are like deadbeat dads or whatever, and he'll like lay into me and be like, you know what? He'll be like, you know what? F you, guy. I don't even want to hear your excuses. Get the F off my stage. And it's like by that time, you're kind of like, yeah, get the F off the stage. You know, you're like backing him up. But he started off as Jerry Springer's security guard, didn't he?
Yeah. And then before that, he was a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I know that my autistic son, my middle son, he's autistic, and he loves watching Steve Wilco. He can watch him for like hours. You know, I'd be like, okay, turn it off now. You know, that's enough Steve Wilco for now. You know, be like, no, Dad, wait a minute. This is funny. Watch this. Watch what he's gonna do here. Get the fuck off my stage! I start cracking up. You know, he's like, this is great, Dad. I love it.
You know, it's like it used to. For a while there, like watching like clips of like what's Dr. Phil for a while there.
Oh yeah,
because some of those episodes were just like what, but then but after a while he just turned out he's like all of a sudden he is whatever the fuck he is now.
Yeah, he's going on ice raids and shit now. And it's like what the fuck. DEI or something like that. DEI,
yeah. But he's like bitching about diversity. Like, excuse me, sir, didn't a black woman give you your job?
Yes.
Are you saying you're DEI, sir?
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, didn't Oprah bring him up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oprah was the one who brought him up. Yeah, so it's like, yeah. So the DEI,
he'd still be an electrician.
There you go. Most definitely. I remember he did this one episode once where he had this one guy that I used to follow on YouTube before I actually even seen him on Dr. Phil. Because, you know how sometimes when you go down the rabbit hole of YouTube, you know, you don't have to work the next day. You're having some insomnia. You sit there and you start going down the rabbit hole. Go through all these really crazy videos. Well, I had found this one guy who was, he said that he was a funeral escort driver. And he had his company called Metro something or whatever, Metro State, whatever. And what they did was they okay, just might want to edit this out too. And see. No, just kidding. No, but
that was dramatic. We'll keep that in. I'll
keep that in. And see. No. So this guy, what he would do is he would he dressed completely like a police officer, everything. You know, he had like these 4 guys who would dress like police officers. Well, they started saying that they were impersonating police officers. And you say, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. But this guy would like pull up alongside people and be like, get the fuck off the road. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, he was just really a horrible guy. You got to see the episode. It's on YouTube.
Oh,
but Dr. Phil had
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dr. Phil did a whole thing he's like, well, do you think that you're trying to impersonate a police officer? And he's like, no. It's I know what my position in life is. I know da. Well, if I was to see you pull up next to me in that uniform, I would assume that you're a police officer, type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but he really turned out to be a nutcase. I think he's in jail now because I saw video after video of him on YouTube. People who were filming him and shit. They would film him and they load up all kinds of videos on YouTube of him before I was on Dr. Phil. Then he was on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil's like, you really need to get together. I mean, that guy seemed crazier than Sexy Vegan. I used to like Sexy Vegan.
Oh, God, not Sexy Vegan. So, I am the vegan something.
Yeah.
What was I am the vegan explorer. Not the vegan explorer. Wait, no, that's not it.
I forgot what his name was, but he used to do like the sexy dance and he put on the makeup and stuff.
No, his name is Sexy Vegan. It is
Sexy Vegan.
I was trying to remember the song he was singing. Oh no, I am the vegan messiah. That was what it was. That's what it was.
I remember that I used to have a GIF of him, and like whenever I would be on a live stream and somebody like pissed me off or whatever, and I didn't want to talk to him or something, I would turn around and thuld throw it up and stuff like that on the thing. It'd be him dancing, like unbothered. There you go. Oh, what happened? What's that? Oh, here's the cat. Kitty. What are you doing? We had an Amazon freaking delivery, so he's all in the box.
The dog is an Amazon delivery?
No, the cat. Well, no. We had an Amazon delivery. Every time we get a box here, no matter what size it is, and I have 3 cats. I have Grayson, the Russian Blue. I have Tigger, he's the tabby, gray tabby. And then I have Binks. He's a black Maine Coon. And he's a huge cat. He is freaking huge. When we first got him, he was like this big, you know. And I wasn't going to keep him because I already had 2 cats already. You know, so I was like, oh, well, I have 2 cats. And a kid came up to the door and had him. And I knew that my daughter, she's like, oh, Miss Gothic emo, blah, blah, blah. She wanted a black cat. And she was always talking about she wanted a black cat, black cat, black cat. And the kid came up to the door and he's all, excuse me, sir. You know, one of the neighborhood kids. Do you have any cat food that I can feed the cat? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I know you have cats. So I was like, all right. So he has this little black kitten in his hands. I was like, oh, okay. So I gave him, you know, a can of food. And I told him, don't feed him the whole can of food. He's a kitten. You know, I said, I don't even know if he can eat that. Just feed him a little bit at a time. He just dumps the whole can out. Of course, the cat was hungry, though. He went to town on it, you know. And I was like, he's a cute cat. And I said, did you just get him? He's all, no. He's all, you know, some neighbors, I guess, moved out in the next part of your complex and they left him. And I was like, wow, really? They left him? Yeah, they left him. I'm like, let's go leave a kitten, you know. So he's like, yeah. So I took him in. My mom told me I can't keep him, though. She said I can't keep him, so I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I don't know. So I was like, oh, shit. You know, right away, you know the cat distribution system's got you. So I was like, oh, fuck, I got a cat. So I have to call, you know, I call my daughter. I tell her, listen, I haven't talked to your mother yet. Look at this cat. I send her a little video of the cat. She's like, oh, my God, it's adorable. I want him. I mean, I was like, of course she's going to say that, you know. He's so beautiful, you know. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to go bat with your mother. So I called, you know, mother, and she's like, what? Already, like she knows, you know. She's like, what? And I was like, well, this kid came to the door and he had a kitten. She's all, fuck, no. We got 2 already that are eating us out of house and home. No. And I was like, and I turned around and said, Winston, just watch. I sent her the video. You know, I sent her the video of the cat. And she's like, she writes back, she's like, fuck, we got a cat. You know, we got a new cat. You know.
That's how they get you.
So we kept him in. I mean, the thing is, we did not realize he was going to get as big as he did. And he's like, he's a little thing. Now he's like, bigger than the other 2 cats. And he eats everything. Oh, man. And then he's like, he turned around and he got like this heat rash on his back, you know, with the fleas and stuff like that. He got, because he's like a long hair. He's like a long hair Maine Coon. So he got like this,
clip it out, or I can just edit it and make it look dramatic or something. Right?
Go make it look up.
Add some music.
So what ended up happening is he had really bad fleas, and because he was a long hair, he was such a puffball, and he was like licking himself raw, and we were just like so worried, you know, and stuff. So my daughter took him to the vet. Her and her boyfriend took him to the vet, and yeah, they turned around and they gave him a couple of shots, cleared him right up. And now he's like all puffy again, but he eats like a pig. He's like so huge. But right now, my daughter's in Washington. She went to Washington with her boyfriend, and he is all about my daughter. It's like, her mother tries to like pay attention to him, you know, tries to like, so he won't be depressed. She tries to like pet him and play with him. And I do the same thing, but, you know, we're not mama, you know. To him, my daughter's mama, and she's in Washington. Yeah. So he's like, oh, he's been laying around all depressed and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, get up, stop laying around. But he's like also one of those cats where he wants to lay in your path. Like, so he knows all the freaking major traffic areas around here. He just lays in the middle of it.
Yep.
You know, like when I'm trying to get my coffee in the morning, he's like, oh, I know the big fat man's going to come down the stairs and go past this path. So I'm going to lay here.
Hey, fat guy, how you doing?
Yeah. He's all, right there by the coffee. Why don't you go ahead and grab one of those cans down for me? I'd appreciate that. Yeah. The one with the pretty kitty on it. Open it up. Yeah, put it in the can.
Yeah, give me the fish one. The stinky and the better. I love it.
I want the purple one. You know, I like the purple one. The salmon one. I like the purple one. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Something else. Yeah, but they it's like this video's gone totally cats already. No, there's this thing called delectables. I don't know if you've ever given them to your cats.
Yes.
I suggest. Oh, you have you? I was about to say, if you haven't, don't get them started. Just like, it's like
I know.
crack. It's like crack.
I have like right now I have these little things. What is it? Churro something. Chew something. It's like kind of like that. It's little packets. I grab it and cats always boom.
Like they hear it. They're like,
yeah.
And it's like real slight. Any little noise you make, they can like hear it right away. It's like these delectables. Grayson and Binks are addicted to it. They go nuts. I mean, they wake up in the morning like 5:30, and they're not whining for food. They are whining for the delectables. They're like until finally they're given one. And then when they're given one, then they're fine. 2:00, it's delectable time. But the other cat, he's into the sensations, whatever the hell the other kitty treat. Yeah. He's into those treats. That's all him. Yeah. So him, it's like all I have to do, because I have a bad habit that I fall asleep on the couch. And as soon as I sit up, because I keep the treats under the coffee table. I know there's real fascinating talk right here. These people are like, I keep the treats under the table and like, a little Tupperware type thing, tube, whatever. And so as soon as I get up, he thinks, oh, fat guy sat up. So he'll jump down. Oh, he's going to give me treats. He's like, hey, fat guy, what you doing? Why don't you reach down underneath that table and, help a brother out, Come
on, just give me a sprinkle of treats there.
Yeah. He's like, come on, just 3 or 4. That's all I need.
I have that same container of like temptations, same brand and thing. But I have to keep them in the cabinet because otherwise these fools will be trying to get into the box.
Yeah. I got smart. I went out and I bought, I went to containers and stuff or whatever, and I bought like these little like tubes that screw over on the top. They screw on top. So whenever I get a big thing of temptations, I pour the whole thing in there and I screw it closed and I keep it under the table. And they can knock it all over the place. They're not going to open it. I think they've learned, so they just leave it alone.
It's not worth it.
Huh?
They're like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we're not going to do it. But my vet, he's like, their vet is just, he's on my ass because me, it's like, I'm one of those people that free feeds. And he's just like, free feed's bad. Free feed's bad. That's the reason why your cats are so fat. But it's easy, It's like I have a couple of bowls. Like I went out and my daughter, like she went out and bought this thing where they have this big cat tree here. You can't see it, but it's the one that has the coffins and crosses all over it and stuff.
Oh, I want to get one of those actually.
Yeah. She got one of those, and then she bought a food bowl. And her food bowl is shaped like a coffin, and it's got like a cross at the end, and it's got 2 big bowls in it with crosses. Total Aussie freaking cat bowl.
That sounds cute.
So. Yeah, so we fill that. I keep that filled all the time, and if it gets really low, then I'll dump it out and wash the bowls out, put more food in. But so they always have food. So there's no way these cats could ever be like, I'm hungry, I'm starving, you're starving me. But yeah, the last time we took him to the vet was just like, these cats are fat. I was like, well, look at me. Did you think they were going to be thin?
So wait, is your vet Archie Bunker? Hey, these cats are fat.
He's like, these cats are fat.
Fucking cats. What are they feeding these fucking cats? They're so fat.
Why are you feeding them? They're so bad. They're so what? Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh, look at this.
Right there. There's a fat one right there. What are you eating? Huh? What are you eating, fatty? She's like, nothing. It's my breakfast time. You haven't fed me yet, fool.
Yeah, but he got like so upset that I was like free feeding them. And I was like, for me, it's just easier. I mean, we're really busy. And I said, every so often we give them the wet food, but I got pissed off about the wet food because, you buy 10 cans for like $9 out here. But I put the wet food in the bowl and they were licking all the juice out of it and leaving the main part of the shreds there. It's like, you're wasting my money, cats. You're wasting my money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm actually going to have to start wrapping this up here.
Not a problem.
Because these fools are wanting some food here.
Not a problem. I hope I gave you enough material. To work with.
We got over an hour of material here, so I think
okay.
I don't think we have a problem there.
All right. I'll talk to Lisa So you can go ahead and get hold of Lisa if you want to do one with Lisa. Because I talked to her already, and she said she'd be totally down if you want to do one with her.
Yeah, I definitely do. And it's like I need to like watch one of her live streams, but I don't. I'm never too, because every time she has them, usually I'm at work because she does them like in the afternoon.
Yeah, she does them during the day.
Like I can't watch shit because I'm at work, you know.
Yeah, I mean, she's a night owl like me too. Best time to get her is on like Thursday nights, Fridays, Saturdays, because she babysits during the week. And then also you might want to get Paulina.
Actually, I'm gonna start following Paulina. I like because I like them. So like, so I want to like follow her YouTube. I don't know. Does she post stuff on YouTube or?
She's slowed down a lot. She used to really post a lot, but not really so much. Now she just does like the occasional live stream with me. And if something really happens, like like there's a major death in the music community, like a major music artist dies or something like that, then she'll end up doing something. Maybe she'll end up doing but yeah, she's not too much of a live streamer, herself. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if you asked her, she would definitely, because she's like, you would probably have a really good interview with her, a really good podcast, because she's a trans activist. She does a lot of activism out here in California. Oh, right. She's worked with all kinds of different people. She has her own trans activist, now my brain's farting. So she has her own like page and everything where she's worked. Like she has her own community and stuff like that. So
right.
And then she has like all kinds of like she's been to she does Palm Springs Pride all the time. She's been on the parade route and stuff like that.
Right on.
Because of her trans work and trans activist work, and she does a lot of like phone banking for different phone banking for different like my brain's farting. You're right. An hour is like a long time. She does like a lot of like work for like different officials, elected officials and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, she'd probably be a pretty interesting like podcast for you.
Right on.
So anyways, yeah.
So anyway,
go ahead and do your outro.
We're at the part of the show where we ask any final words. Get it? Coffin, final words? Nah.
Not really. I mean, yeah,
you don't want to promote your channel or something, maybe?
Sure. If you guys want to see me, that would probably work. Yeah. If you guys want to come see me, I'm like totally not into self promotion. That's why. So it's like, yeah, Dusty Spins, YouTube. Oh, also I'm on Twitch, Dusty Spins 50. At Twitch TV. Every so often, I don't do them consistently, but I do music streams. Right I do gossip, conversation streams. I'm on gossip streams, no conversation streams, and stuff like that. Music streams. Twitch, I do a lot of music videos, stuff like that, because over at Twitch you can get away with it. So, without being shut down. So, yeah.
And also, I have links below in the description as well too. Yeah, because that's what we do.
Thanks for having me, though. Thanks for having me on here.
No problem. All right, people. Remember, no matter what the shitty people in this fucking administration say, you are valid. You are loved. And remember to resist, exist, and persist. See you next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Black TV and the Morning Coffin Podcast proudly present the Black TV merch store. Show your support for the channel and for the podcast and the musical projects by supporting the merchshare.com Black TV store. Get yourself some merch today. Lots of different designs and more coming soon. That's merchshare.com/Black TV store. Visit today.